Hey there, Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising. Welcome to your reading for the week of say that again, January 30th through February 5th. We do get a full moon on February 5th, so I'm going to do full moon videos for you. You expect to see yours this week on air signs on Wednesday. So you have here the card of adventure and mind. So let's put it together like a phrase, a mind adventure. I have a feeling this week there's a lot of squares. Some of this energy is going to challenge you, and some of it is really going to support you. And I feel like it's like, can you send yourself on a mind adventure this week where you're willing to kind of look outside of the box and see what else is going on out there? Oh, yeah. Can you see things from a different perspective? Wow, very interesting, because the key to the situation you have here is the Ace of Swords. So I feel like there's something new coming in, a new way to do things that maybe perhaps, wait, does that go there? No. That maybe perhaps you hadn't seen before. So the struggle has been to wait patiently for the victory. Feels like you've been waiting a long time. Oh yeah, that card is so nothing like the other card. Wow, they have a lot to tell you. Let's go. So we have a full moon. Full moons are always about completing a cycle. Are you willing to let something end so that something new can come in? Are you willing to let go of your fears, let go of your worries and your anxieties around something in order to have the opportunity to get something new and different, and I feel exciting, something stimulating to, I believe, your brain. So I think it's not necessarily it's an adventure. So I think something comes in this week that makes you look at everything so much differently than you've seen it before. It's a deep perspective shift. Because here we have this moon card in the area of where you've been seeking information. But look, she is way below the water, and she's looking at it from a different perspective. She's looking at her fears from the underside. It's taking the deep dive. It's diving in. It's letting yourself look to the light, up through all the darkness, up through all the fears, and to see the light that's being shining down on you. And here, having this radical new idea being brought to you in a very positive and empowering way. And the overall energy we have is the 10 of Wands, but you're not traveling alone. I feel like Spirit is walking right there with you and helping you on the way. And the Four of Swords is this nesting energy. This Four of Swords is interesting because there's this, all this red here, and it attaches to a heart. And so it's the healing in the heart space around something. Because the Three of Swords in here has this same red thread and everything, but the heart is all broken open and it's painful. This one, it's the resting, the healing. And so I think if you're willing to look at a situation from a different vantage point than you've been, you are allowing yourself to complete a cycle that brings in the opportunity for some tremendous amount of healing. And so I think this full moon really allows you to heal a major aspect of what's going on in your life. We have so many cards come out right there. So, it's perspective. So what do you anchor your energy into? We have the Eight of Swords, but if you look, here she is, and she's looking in one direction, and okay, how do I put this? You are not trapped. It is your perception of feeling trapped that makes us feel trapped. And a lot of times what makes us feel trapped is like, I'm doing this stuff, but nothing seems to be happening. Like, I can't seem to make anything change. But unless you change your fear of waiting for things to develop, they're saying fear of failure. unless you give yourself the opportunity to allow things to shift and change on a cycle. They're saying there's a cycle. And so there's a cycle that needs to complete so something new can come in. 10 of Wands. Okay, that makes total sense. All right. So here, because look, how do you transform the situation? We have the 9 of Wands, and then we get to the 10. And so there is a need to allow some time and healing to happen so that you can rest, so that you can bring in a completion to a cycle. And you're being asked to be patient. 7 of Pentacles here. Stuff is going on beneath the surface that you can't see. You can't see it. But she went below the surface to see it. And so whatever it is you're waiting on, if you shift your perspective and you look at it from a different angle, you're going to see. You're going to see whatever it is that you need to see. The challenge is that you want to do something, right? The Knight of Wands. You want to get things moving, got to get things moving, but nothing seems to be happening here. And you're being asked to remember that you are going to create for yourself what it is that you want by creating stability. In the area of resources, this is your personal energy. This is your finances, stuff. We have the Emperor. Like something's happening, but he's holding this big chess piece there. It's actually, it looks like, well, I guess it's a king. He's sitting on a peach. It's sweet. It's juicy. But the 4, the Emperor, this 4 swords is the lower octave. This is part of it. You have to allow the space for you to heal, to bring this energy in to get there. So this 8 of Swords, it came with the 7 of Wands and the High Priestess. Both of these are very much about connecting in with your higher self, knowing what's of value to you. And again, that 7, right? This energy of the waiting, the energy of this year. This year, it's about focusing our intention on what it is we want to create and manifest. Creating a strategy. Focusing our attention on what we want to manifest and bring in, and then having patience for the cycles to bring the pieces into play. And it's, so whereas usually I'm telling everybody that you need to be taking action, the action you need to take right now is to completely heal and let a situation complete its cycle and do the healing process. And if you try to jump the hurdle, if you try to skip a step, because I don't know if you can see it here, and in the back, I've never noticed where there's steps going up. If you try to take the steps 2 at a time to get there faster, you're going to trip and fall. They're showing me somebody stumbling. See, I'm sorry. There's this video clip, and this is not political, but it's funny, okay? Of the president trying to climb the steps up to get into Air Force One, and 3 times on his way up, he trips falling upwards. That's what they're showing me. So it's almost as though either moving too quickly or they're saying footwear. So your feet is where you find your stability. You're getting tripped up. They're slowing you down because you missed a step. You missed a step. And there's a need to stop and assess the situation before beginning again. That's the resting. There's a strategy. Mercury in retrograde created a lot of opportunity for missteps. I almost feel like even though Mercury is moving direct, he's not on the shadow until next week on the 7th. You missed a step on whatever it is you're trying to do. And somehow the slowness is making you feel like nothing's happening because you just skipped a step. And I think if you go back, so really connect in and focus in on what you missed. In the heart space, we have this beautiful card of the Lovers, but this is about choice and decision making. So there's a lot of clarity here. I never noticed this before. She has a tattoo, and it's actually like the Sagittarius arrow. The bow and arrow of Sagittarius. The Lover's card oftentimes represents the Gemini energy, but and so they're across the zodiac from each other, right? It's like a rebalancing, different vantage points of seeing the same thing, right? Different vantage points of seeing the same thing, this mind adventure, different vantage points of seeing the same thing. The barrier is not high. You can step over it. You can complete this. It's not hard. It's just a different perspective, a shift in your perspective. Can you go higher and see it from a higher vantage point to figure out what you need to do next? And the best way to do that is from a well-rested vantage point. Are you nurturing yourself and giving yourself what you need so that you can think, so that the information can come in? Because the Lover's card is definitely about making a choice. And it's a choice that you're making in the heart space. And you're going to want to choose what brings joy and what brings happiness to you. So that moon in Gemini, you have raising the winds, right? And the moon's in Gemini. It's going to conjunct with Mars, and they're going to trine your sign. And so while that moon is in Gemini and all this energy is supporting you and nurturing you, plus the sun is in Aquarius, so you have like your own personal air trine going on there. You have magical release. That would be that full moon that's coming up. The calling, the intention, and the stronghold. There's a need to know what you want. You missed a step. It's a small one. It's a small one. And if you can take a moment, and so raising the wind, allowing yourself to really use that really sharp mind of yours at the beginning part of the week to look at the problem, whether it is in a relationship or it's in a, I don't know, maybe you're whatever project you're involved in at work, or if you're looking to move someplace or buy a car or whatever the heck it is, right? It doesn't matter. There's a step, an important step that's been skipped. There is a need for you at the beginning of the week when you're really supported to take a pause, take a breath, and look at it again and see what you missed so that you take the appropriate action step. And then the moon's going to move into Cancer in the middle of the week, and you got the Cancer card. Look at that, moon in Cancer, like a little crabby there. It says moonlight. You have the moon. There's a fear or an objection or something you need to overcome. And also listen to your intuition. But if you race too far, too fast, you tripped up going up the steps. So there was a need to slow down, take the steps one at a time. You can't skip a step, and you can't move too quickly, and you need to see something from a different perspective. And if you will rest, in that Four of Swords, I also want to say meditation might help you. When I was in college, I had to rotate an object in space and then draw it. I was in engineering, and I was really struggling with it, and so then I made a 3D model out of it. Well, actually, I was struggling with it. I went to sleep, and I dreamed I made a 3D model. So when I woke up, I made the 3D model, and then I could see what I was missing. And so that's what it feels like. It's like if you will just sleep on it, if you will just kind of let it rest a little bit and let the idea come to you with a fresh mind. I feel like you need a fresh mind, whether you get it through meditation or going for a walk, or maybe if you're working in a particular space, can you pick up your stuff and move to a different space to do the work in, just to change the energy, a different perspective. Something is needed. It is a full moon in Leo that we're having. And when that moon is in Leo, you have fierce serenity. And look, I don't know if you can see that, it's a lion space. That full moon happens in a sextile to your sign, which is the energy of choice. It says, lead your own metamorphosis. Fierce serenity. That's what she looks like. She looks fierce. This is fierce serenity for sure. Like, you can come at me with your stuff, but I'm centered and I'm grounded. I'm in touch with my higher self. I see things from a different perspective. I see what needs to be done next. I see what needs to be done next intuitively. And then there's the need to take that step, to clear that last hurdle. I know this sounds like a confusing reading because I'm confused, and yet I'm not. So I'm very clear on the fact that you've missed a step. You need to see things from a different vantage point in order to see what that step is. But then I feel like it's going to be so clear to you, and it may not be clear to other people, but you're going to know what needs to be done, and then you need to do it, right? And I feel like reassessing a situation will allow you to see what strategically needs to be done in order to create what it is you're trying to create. And don't let other people's doubts become your own self-doubts, because you have lead your own metamorphosis. So you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in the change you're going to make. You have to believe in this next step you're going to take. And you're probably going to have to defend it to other people. So if there's a project at work and all of a sudden you see the way forward and other people don't necessarily see, but you have the ability to take that step, take that step. You know, maybe you decide to change your career and everybody's like, oh my God, you put all that money into going to college for that. And you don't want to be a doctor, you want to be a real estate agent. Like, that's so different, and yet it makes sense to you, right? And so there's something here where the heart, there's a choice in the heart that needs to be made. And then you're going to have to believe in yourself and create this big change. It's a little mind-bending. It's a little mind-bending. All right. Well, I'm going to do your full moon video. That will be out on Wednesday, so hopefully we'll get a little more on that. I'm on Facebook every day. You guys take good care. I think you need more rest. I think you need to believe in yourself, and you need to believe that the solution is there. It's just a matter of getting the proper perspective to find it, to whatever it is, because I sure can't tell from here. Hopefully you know. All right, you guys take good care. I'll talk to you soon.